O'clock already. Hey, Alyssa, as I was saying, it'll take a minute or two for everyone to get loaded. I like to use that in the reference of the SIP that everyone's getting loaded. Um, so I want to tell a quick story about something that happened this morning that was so amazing. So I'm in, well, from I had the museum in the background. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio today, and I left my AirPods in the hotel at secondary. So I walked over to the bookstore on Case's campus and bought AirPods. And I was walking up Mayfield Road, which goes into Little Italy in Cleveland. And there was this little 2-year-old boy, and he was walking beside of the stroller. His mom was pushing a stroller, and he was walking beside of it. And I was following them up the hill, and he turned around and comes to me with his arms open and he hugged my leg. It was the
Oh,
cutest thing ever. It just warmed my heart.
that's so sweet. Sounded
Yeah.
like you needed that today after a
Yeah.
little frustration.
Yeah. But it was like, and then I went to Presti's, which is a little Italian bakery. And there was a guy there in his Knicks shirt. So it just like ruined it ruined the whole aura that was going on around me. And like go back to New York.
Well, you can be my husband, who is a Mets fan, diehard Mets fan. Even though we transplanted from New York to California, I told him he can choose another team and not raise our kids to be Mets fans and not torture them. But no,
Yeah.
no, no, Mets diehard, and then also a Knicks fan. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Oh boy, oh boy, oh
uh-huh.
boy, oh
Yeah,
boy. We
yeah.
didn't even show up, so it's like I can't even be mad. But I've worked in New York for several years, and I actually think I've been to more Knicks games than I've been to Cavs games over the years, but still a Cleveland fan. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. So, for those of you who thought that you had joined the Cleveland update, you actually are in the right place, and you have joined the SIP. So, welcome everyone to the SIP, the space where conversation fuels connection, collaboration drives innovation, and industry leaders come together to tackle challenges, just like catching up over coffee. The SIP is all about meaningful discussions that move us forward. At TMC, we are committed to fostering a forward thinking environment where our members thrive, grow, and make lasting impacts. Today, we're here to share insights, real world case studies, and strategies that highlight the power of working together. A big thank you to all of you for taking the time out of your day to join us. And if you missed my Facebook post, it's time to get back to work. I hope you all enjoyed the long Memorial Day weekend. But now it is time to hit the ground running again. As Rich Werbinski reminded us on LinkedIn, we only have 4 months left to be able to end the year. So get on it. So today's show is proudly sponsored by Longbridge Financial. If you are serving aging homeowners or thinking about how to deepen the relationship with your senior clients, Longbridge is a name that you need to know. They are one of the country's leading reverse mortgage lenders, and they are on a mission to help lenders expand their product offerings and to better serve the people who have spent a lifetime building equity. And before I bring in our guests, I want to make sure everyone on the call has something on your calendar. So Longbridge Financial's own Chris Mayer, CEO, and Columbia Professor Emeritus, is partnering with the Mortgage Collaborative to bring you an exclusive webinar, the economy called Here's What It Said About the Housing Market. This is the kind of session you do not want to miss, and you should have FOMO because we already have nearly 200 lenders registered. So make sure that you're on there. Now, joining me today is Alyssa Prieto, the Senior National Account Executive at Longbridge Financial. Alyssa, welcome to the SIP.
Thank you so much. Well done.
And I will try to forgive you the fact that your husband is a Knicks fan. I'm okay with the Mets fan piece of it because
Of
we're different
course.
division than Cleveland, and many of the Clevelanders moved to the Mets. So you have our old shortstop and one of our ace pitchers. So, but
Totally the
let's
difference.
start with the big picture. There's a lot of conversation right now about financial pressures facing today's retirees and really everyone. And these seniors who did everything right, they saved, they worked hard, they paid off their homes, and still are feeling a squeeze. From your vantage point, what role can reverse mortgage play to help them find real financial stability? And what do most people get wrong about how the product actually works?
Well, I think with reverse mortgages, most people don't realize that it's a financial tool. So you can utilize a reverse mortgage to set up a line of credit. You can utilize a reverse mortgage to create a monthly payment or to extinguish a forward mortgage. There's just a lot that you can do with a reverse mortgage. For instance, I'll give you an example. There is a senior husband and wife, and they currently have been living in their home for 30 years. And now they need a new air conditioning, they need a new roof. Everything is breaking. They're calling it a money pit. They just can't handle it any longer. And the husband just found out that he has cancer. And unfortunately, all of the hospitals and doctors' offices are about 30 miles away. So, what they've decided to do is sell their existing property and then do a HECM for purchase. So, a reverse for purchase and purchase a new home closer to the doctors, closer to the hospital. And after they do a HECM for purchase, they're able to have money left over in their savings account. So right now they're dealing with all of that stress, all of those expenses, and this is giving them a solution and also giving them a little bit of reprieve. Where if they were to do a forward mortgage, they may not qualify because they just don't have the income that they used to have.
Right. No, amazing, real life and a story. And I know that there are many of them and that will resonate with many people. But let's shift to the lender side of this because I think there's a significant opportunity that a lot of institutions are not seeing fully yet. For a bank or a credit union that is not currently offering reverse mortgage, what are they actually leaving on the table?
Well, as a lender, bank, or credit union, you have to ask yourself, do you want to service just first-time home buyers, or do you want to be that homeowner's lifelong lender? I mean, as we get older, unfortunately, bad things happen. Maybe, we get cancer or we get into a car accident or something life-changing happens.
Yeah.
And so if they're not there to be there to offer them solutions, to give them some advice or suggestions, or to provide them with a reverse mortgage or a HELOC designed specifically for seniors, somebody else is going to step in. And
Mhm.
not only are they going to lose that business, but potentially they could lose business from their heirs, because
Yeah.
usually their heirs are involved in this decision. And then once the loan is no longer that borrower's primary residence, let's say they pass away, well, now the heirs are going to step in and maybe they want to keep that house because it's their family house. And that's where, those are where all their memories are. And now they want to keep that house. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to have to figure out how to pay off that existing mortgage, just like you would on a forward mortgage.
Yeah.
So do you want to be that lifelong lender? Do you want to be able to offer products throughout every stage of your homeowner's member's life? Or do you
Yeah.
just want to focus on an isolated products?
Yeah. And I think you were on, or Longbridge was on a session of the SIP a couple months ago. And it really hit home for me because I've heard time and time again of lenders using the term client for life when it really isn't client for life if you're not offering reverse, because many times you're not able to help that aging client. And so you are their clients until are of a certain age, and then they're no longer clients. but and those are a lot of hurdles that home buyers face. But what do you think the hurdles are that typically hit first when considering lending for life?
I wouldn't call them hurdles. I think it's just fear of the unknown, right? And I think, we're all so busy. I mean, so, we talk about AI. People are like, AI is going to take your job. And I like to look at it a little bit differently. I think AI is going to supplement our
Yeah,
careers and help us do more and maybe be able to allow us to not be so stressed out all the time. So, anytime you're introducing a new product, there's a lift. And you have to decide, are we going to roll this out to our entire sales force? Are we going
yeah,
to have a specialist? But we have all of that support. We have a great team. We offer customizable marketing pieces. We have great training. Julie Melser is our training. She is phenomenal, and she actually comes from the forward side. So she has an understanding of how loan officers work and operate. We're dedicated to the reverse mortgage space. I've been in the industry for the past 22 years. So with our company, we have the hardest working account executives around. So we will hold your hand and make sure that you're comfortable with this product and also comfortable with the process.
yeah, absolutely. And let's dig into product specific because I think that that is so important and how those products are able, because there are so many different scenarios. Is it one product, or what are the products that lenders could be able to offer their senior clients?
Great question. Yeah, so the original reverse mortgage product, which was created in 1989, is the home equity conversion mortgage. So we offer what's called the HECM, which is backed by HUD. And then we also have a jumbo proprietary program, which is referred to as the Platinum program. And that can actually go down to a home value as low as 450,000. And then we've also created what's called a HELOC for seniors. So it is a HELOC. It is not a reverse mortgage where a borrower pays a fixed interest only for the life of the loan. So we are really trying to become I always say this, a senior lending lender, but
Mhm.
a lender that specializes in products for seniors. So we are going to continue to offer and look at additional ways that we can help supplement seniors' income in their retirement, and look at ways to help solve any issues or concerns that seniors may have and provide them with solutions.
Right. And let's talk more about how you partner with lenders, because I think that that is so important, because this is so out of the norm of a typical loan officer. And you mentioned training a little bit before, but what does it really look like if when a lender identifies a prospective reverse mortgage client, like at what point does Longbridge come in? Is it customizable
Yeah.
based on the experience level? Kind of talk through that very specific support that you all offer.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We have training that is 15 minutes long, and then we can do a deep dive into what to expect during the HECM counseling session so that you can get a really good idea of what's being discussed with your borrower, because on every reverse mortgage, they do have to be counseled so that they are aware of the product and how the product works and the different payment options. And then we also can assist with our LOS system, which is called Quantum Reverse. So we utilize one LOS, and everything is done within Quantum Reverse. So the processing to the underwriting to the closing to the funding. So it is completely transparent to you. But we can even assist with processing. We're actually offering free processing right now until July 3rd, for any new loans submitted. So and we can tailor it to you. Our processors can contact your borrowers to obtain documentation, or you can request that you are the primary contact. So really, whatever you need, but we have a team which works with new to reverse loan officers all the way to experienced loan officers. So whatever support you need, we can tailor towards you.
I want to make sure that everyone heard that free processing because that exists today. But I do think I have seen, being in the industry for a long time, I have seen, a processor gets to a loan type that they're not familiar with and they
Right.
freeze,
Yes.
whether that be a non-QM product that they don't have experience using, whether it's a down payment assistance program that they haven't touched for a while. And I think there's like over 3,000 down payment assistant programs, and they all have they have unique characteristics. So I envision that if a forward processor is, managing their pipeline, and then all of a sudden they see a reverse and they're like, oh crap. So I think, to our listeners, please take note of that. And if there is a time that you're looking to get into reverse mortgage or want to increase your production of reverse mortgages, that is a great offering to be able to get your feet wet with less risk of actually having experienced individuals that can process the loans. And because good processors in unique products can make or break a relationship. So I think that it's very important to have people that are experienced in the product be able to work on the loans. I do want to remind the audience that if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. I know I've had many questions about reverse mortgages over the years and have learned a lot from Longbridge over the last year of our partnership. So please pop questions into the chat. I'm checking real quick. We have lots of notifications of people's note takers are in there, but I don't see any questions currently, but please feel free to jump in.
Can I share something, Jody?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so some of the things that, unfortunately we're seeing quite a bit is gray divorce, where we are seeing that there are husband and wife and they're now 70s or 80s and they just don't want to be married any longer. Um, it's crazy. It's a little upsetting.
They
Um,
all need the hug from that little boy that I
right,
got a hug
right.
from today.
Yes, so we are seeing where people are utilizing a reverse mortgage to buy out their spouse. So that is an option. And I actually have two loans going right now where the couple's divorced and now they are individually getting their own reverse mortgage on their own subject properties. So, can I go
Yeah.
into HELOC for seniors program? Yeah, so I'll just let me before we go into that. But yes, so they're now getting their own reverse mortgage, and then the other thing that we're seeing is what we refer to as baby chasers, where people are, which I know I'm going to be a baby chaser. I already made my kids promise that they're going to have kids, so where I am going to chase the grandkids, and I live in Southern California, and I don't know if my kids are going to be able to afford to live here. I mean, it is so expensive. A lot of people are moving to Tennessee, and one of my clients, they just did a hack 'em for purchase and moved to Tennessee. So, and they're able, and there's a lot of builders in Tennessee, so they're able to get more upgrades because they have to bring in, they don't have to utilize all their cash because they can do a reverse mortgage. So there's a lot of great uses for this product.
That is amazing. Before you jump into the question in the chat, do you have reverse construction loans?
So that is something we discussed. And so you could, it is something we discussed, yes,
Okay.
because it came up like in Los Angeles when we had fires. So
Yep.
that's you bring up something really good. So something that's really great about reverse mortgages that a lot of people know. So if you had a line of credit option and your house burnt down, as long as you contacted servicing and you said, I intend to work with my insurance agent, and that is still going to be my primary residence, and I intend to rebuild, we were still able to provide them with access to the cash and the line of credit. So if
Okay.
they needed money right away to live wherever they were living in a hotel or whatever, and they had a reverse mortgage, we could give them access to their line of credit.
Okay.
So that's huge.
I was trying to
Yeah.
solution for my mother building on our farm. I'll just tell her there's no access, so she can't build. Just kidding. I don't know how I feel about her being across the road, so we'll figure that one out. Yeah, so in the chat, we have John is asking you to go into the HELOC for Seniors program in a little more detail.
Yeah, so we just rolled this out probably gosh, has it been a year? Maybe like 6 to 9 months ago. It's an amazing product. It is powered through Figure's platform. So if you are approved with Figure, and you would like to be able to offer HELOC for seniors, you do have to sign a separate agreement. It is our product. And it is specifically designed for seniors. So it's really not too complicated. The major difference is that on a forward loan, after 10 years, that payment amortizes over the next 20. Where with the HELOC for seniors, it stays the same throughout the life of the loan. So you don't have to worry that after 10 years, your payment is going to double. It's just a fixed interest only for the life of the loan. So we've actually saved people from foreclosure because they had a HELOC and after 10 years, their payment doubled and they couldn't afford to pay it. And they unfortunately contacted us too late. That's the
Yep.
other reason why I think you find people that do reverse mortgages were extremely passionate about the program because we're like, please don't wait. Please don't wait until it's too late because then it makes it you can still do it. It just makes it a little bit harder to qualify for the loan because we have to, prove that it's a sustainable loan.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can, with the HELOC, if let's say you just needed a new air conditioning unit, you needed a new roof, that would be a great solution. If you're still able to make the payments and you don't want a reverse mortgage, that's a great solution.
Yeah. And we often don't think of reverse mortgage providers having that type of solution. So I was excited about the announcement when I heard it come out. One thing that I often have had questions about, and I think that there's still a lot of misconception around what happens to the deed on a reverse mortgage at the time that the homeowner who has the reverse mortgage they pass. What
Mhm.
happens to the deed? I think that there's a misconception around that. If you could
Yeah.
clear that up for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's a reverse mortgage is a mortgage. So very similar to a forward mortgage. What happens when they pass away and they are no longer making those payments? You have to disposition the property or figure out how you are going to pay off that existing lien. So the heirs can step in and they can choose to pay off the existing lien or they can choose to sell the house. Or if they do not want the house, they can do a deed in lieu of foreclosure. So servicing can assist with selling the house. If there are no heirs, servicing can assist with selling the house. So it's just like any other mortgage in that sense.
Yeah. I don't see any more questions in the chat. So let's go to the last question so that we can land this practically. If you could give one piece of advice to lenders who have been on the fence or have dabbled in reverse mortgages, what would you tell them about reverse mortgage, to adding that to their lineup into their product mix?
Well, I will say that there's over 14 trillion of senior home equity and 55 million baby boomer homeowners. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Not only is there a lot of opportunity, I think it's important for you personally and professionally, just like you were talking about your mom, Jody. It's important to understand the reverse mortgage as a financial tool. It's important for you to understand your options as you head into retirement, and especially with the expenses. I would say partner, make sure you partner with the right lender. We are always do what's best for the borrower. We are always looking out for the borrower, and just getting yourself educated. I mean, our loan officers, we don't say we sell reverse mortgages, we say we educate. So if I were you, I would jump in with both feet because this product's been around since 1989 and it's not going anywhere. And we're only going to create new and improved products. And I mean, we've got 14 trillion in senior home equity. So
Yeah.
somebody's got to help them.
Yeah. And we talk about market share all the time and lenders wanting to grow their market share. TMC, our lenders represent 12.6% of all loans originated in the United States. And I think that there is an opportunity to grow that and to grow that in the reverse space as you mentioned. Um, That's a wrap. This has been an incredible conversation, and we truly appreciate the insights that you shared today. Huge thank you to Longbridge Financial for sponsoring today's episode, and Alyssa for bringing such real practical perspective to the topic that matters right now. And I'll also say thank you for your passion. It comes through in your speech and conversation. And for any lenders out there that would like to engage with you, want to drop your email address or LinkedIn information so they can
Yeah.
reach out to you.
Yes, I'd be happy to. And yes, Rich will be mad at me if I don't include my LinkedIn.
And before I let you go, I have to circle back on something that we teased at the top. So, Longbridge Financial's very own Chris Mayer, the CEO and Columbia Professor Emeritus, is joining TMC for an exclusive webinar. The Economy Called. Here's what he said about the housing market. Um, any any words to those thinking about joining?
I mean, so Chris Mayer is like the coolest guy. He's an amazing CEO, extremely bright, funny, and he will take a complex topic and simplify it. And even if you don't understand it, he'll still explain it in a way that you can understand. So, he is just very impressive. And if you do get the opportunity to listen, please do.
Awesome. So we'll see you all there. And we have the call information dropped in. Ryan dropped that. Thank you, Ryan, for you to register. And then we'll be back next week on Tuesday, June the 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the TMC network and the entire industry on LinkedIn. And if you're not yet a member of TMC, which you should have FOMO, we actually have had 3 lender members joined since Friday. So word is out. So if you want to hear more about why people are choosing TMC, please reach out to me directly. And cheers. And until next time on the SIP, thank you again, Alyssa. Have a great week.